With dynamic shifts happening in the ad world, we thought of talking to one of the leading ladies, welcoming Anusha Shetty, who is the chairperson and group CEO of Grey Group India, which includes both Grey and Autumn Grey. The agency is a firm believer of the fact that creativity solves business problems. Let's talk with Anusha to find out the business realities of this unusual time. Glad to have you with us, Anusha.
Thank you, Soumya. Pleasure to be on a virtual meet with you. Always interesting to see how every industry copes with change and manages its everyday work, really. So thank you. Thank you, Soumya, for having me on the show.
Let's just say this is one of the business realities that we are all are dealing with, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So how have these past 7-8 months been for you, both personally and professionally?
Interesting is the word I would like to say, Soumya. As a leadership team that includes a larger team along with me, we took on this new role in Jan of this year. And yes. Really happened in the March of this year. Even before we could come to terms with our roles and played out the way we dreamt it, there was COVID. I think the first 2 months was kind of, a shocker. All of us thought it would go away in a month or two. Nobody really anticipated an entire year of being in this remote working format. But I think we kind of picked ourselves the minute we kind of realized that this was here for a longer stay. And we were very clear as an agency that we were not going to compromise on anybody's safety. And that working from home would definitely be a new reality for all of us. I think that realization set in very quickly and we'd all just jumped in to figure out how to work. And it was kind of seamless is what I want to say today when I look back. I think we managed well. I would have been surprised even 2 years ago if somebody told me that there was a phase like this coming up. Even working from home for an industry like ours is a big change, really. But today it feels like we did a very natural progression into a format that's working fabulously for all of us, really, and our clients.
Great. As you just mentioned that there's been a lot of movement happening in the agency ever since this year began. What was the idea of coming up with the Autumn Grey? How did that pan out for you? What was the idea in the head?
Autumn Grey is actually really, almost an old story now, really, right? We started this agency many, many years ago.
Right.
I actually started this agency as a brand consulting firm, a creative outsourcing firm, honestly. That's really where the whole journey began. But 2009, we saw early signs of digital in India. And we kind of quickly migrated, shifted gears and started working in digital. But really took off in 2011. 2011 is really some of the larger windows opened for us. And I honestly see this as the beginning of the digital vertical and strength that Autumn Grey built for itself, really. I think the very fact that it was new, I was very clear in my mind that, I wanted to create a value proposition that would be unique for the marketing industry. I was very clear right from the beginning, even when I, began this whole journey as an entrepreneur. So when I saw digital in 2009, it was so new. None of us knew how to even deal with this new animal. I think that excited me. The very fact that there was something new and we could create something new in this space within this whole world of marketing is really what drove my passion to play a larger role in this space, really. That's how the journey really began, as naturally as, as an opportunity that was just beginning to brew. Seeing it early and jumping into it early, switching gears to be able to learn every day with every project that we were working on was really how Autumn Grey happened to all of us, really.
Right. I'm very intrigued to know, ma'am, what are the learnings from your startup days that you incorporated in your new position at Grey?
So, like I said, even though we started Autumn Grey in digital in 2009, and grew slightly larger in 2011. I think what really worked for us was this whole, while in theory it sounds really nice, but in reality we were really a startup in mindset, right? We were passionate, we were agile, we never said no, we always tried. Nothing was really impossible in our lives. So we did a lot of those things as a startup. Honestly, if I look at life today, and I believe that we are in the same kind of a format and setup today. If you see the journey and where we are as Grey Group today, we actually call ourselves the 100-year-old startup. Honestly. But the truth is that we're also on a new journey here in India. We've got Grey, which is a creative powerhouse, and we've got Autumn Grey, which is a digital powerhouse, right? Both these entities have come together, leadership has come together. The vision is really to create a seamless, seamless style and format of working for our clients across touch points. We call this philosophy clarity in diversity, because that's really what we want to provide for all our clients. We want to be that clarity in this whole diverse world that we are seeing today. And so in this whole new journey that we have begun as Grey Group all over again, with these two entities and hyper specializations coming together, there is no choice but to work like a startup all over again. And because there's a lot of new learnings that we have to build into each other. The mainline teams have to learn the digital style of working. The digital teams have to learn the mainline format of working. We need teams and members today who are not saying, hey, that's digital, let me call another agency. We have that partner, we have that strategic partner, let's call them. No, that's not how it works. We want a single mindset out there who's able to think brand, who's able to think digital, and is able to provide that perfect clarity for our clients, which is in the form of value that we want to kind of drive. So honestly, there is absolutely nothing different many years from what I did when we started Autumn. Today as Grey Group, it's really the same culture that we are bringing in. And for this to work, the entire leadership team and every senior member in this organization has to behave and lead by example on this culture, really, which is really what we are doing. And I think every bit of it is really being applied all over again with the Grey Group.
Let's just put it as Grey being 100-year young company instead of old. Let's just say it's a young company, young startup.
It is a young company.
Young startup.
It is a young company also. If you actually walk into the agency, you will see in reality, it is really a young company. The average has suddenly fallen drastically, and it's just really a beautiful young company thinking very differently all over again.
Right. Ma'am, coming to advertising in times of COVID, is there any fundamental change that you've observed?
Like I said, we are very platform agnostic, right? It doesn't matter whether we are digital or whether we are mainline. So I'll take this question more neutrally because we represent clients across touch points, really, right?
Yes.
I think one of the biggest reality checks in this phase of COVID is that, this whole demand and supply has definitely taken a beating in many forms for various categories in very different ways, really. I think at this point of time, what our clients really need is a very different format of working with them so that they're able to handle their challenges differently and are able to win in this game all over again. So honestly, nothing, I think the reality has changed. And if reality has changed, and if clients and their consumers, brands and their consumers have changed, what really is required is for us to change and adapt and to be able to think very uniquely and differently to be able to make all these brands more relevant all over again in this space. And that's really what has changed today. It's really the new thinking and a new approach behind it, which makes brands win again in the COVID phase, really.
Would it be right to say that brands and clients are being more demanding than ever before?
I mean, I feel like this is an unfair question on most clients, really, because the challenge that every brand is going through today is no longer normal. It is not even a normal anticipated challenge. We were all used to a set of challenges which we either way had to face in life, right? It is not even that kind of a normal challenge. It is an extraordinary challenge. It's something that nobody even anticipated, and they're going through crisis. Every brand, every category in its own way is going through, very, very different challenges and demands. At this point of time, every brand and a marketer has to lean a lot more on the agency today to be able to kind of make a difference in their market, really, or in their category, or with their consumers, really. Now, at a point like this, obviously life is going to be demanding, but demanding for the right set of reasons. And to actually discuss this in a format that is kind of negative, I'm not appreciating that for my clients and for us also. I genuinely believe it's a very challenging phase. And this is not the time to kind of even judge or talk about things. I think brands and marketers are in a very, very difficult phase today. And if they're leaning on you and they're partnering with you, I think it's a great, partnership. And that is the reason why they're even leaning on you, right? What do they do? Right. Everybody has to win in this. Life is going to be challenging. And I don't want to use the word demanding, but life is going to be challenging. It is a reality. And I think real agencies who want to really make a difference will not question this, but will really partner them in the real sense so that we can all win in this game. And honestly, that's the case we're all in.
True. Ma'am, as you just mentioned that Grey caters to a vast portfolio of brands across sectors, I would want to know how was your experience with dealing with the sectors that were most hit during this time? How did you assist them and where do they stand now?
So, that's an interesting question, but I can tell you one thing that irrespective of category or sector, right? A lot of clients had already started to migrate towards digital in a big way, right? Right. But the level of experimentation was at varied levels, really. Some were at simple stages, some were trying whatever. There was a wide spectrum of experimentation that was happening with clients, really. I think today clients realize, or brands realize, that no longer can we just experiment, because this is really the only way that has made a lot of brands succeed in a phase as drastically different today, really, right? Sure. So the biggest thing that we are seeing with multiple categories who were slow in the migration is accelerated change towards digital. A lot of brands and categories have actually started to take this whole model of going direct to the consumer very seriously. Right? In the past, we had lots of excuses to do with retailers, chains, intermediaries, managing sentiments of multiple stakeholders, and therefore maybe growth in digital being slow. But I'm seeing this not just from marketing perspective, but I'm seeing drastic change in the way we've all accelerated towards digital. And the whole going direct to a consumer model is really where the biggest change has been. And I'm so glad and grateful that we've managed to play a big role in the space with our clients, really.
Mm-hmm. Would this also result in brands warming up to the idea of in-house? What is your view on that?
I don't think COVID has anything to do with going in-house, really, right? Mm-hmm. In-house has been a trial method for decades, really. Many brands have tried this in the past, and for various reasons then decided that, it is okay to go back to an agency, really. Right. It is complicated to manage talent and resources in-house. I'll also tell you that as an agency, in spite of being this agency with wide category of portfolios that we manage, I know that today's teens, especially the youngsters, are extremely smart. And what they want really is to work on a diverse set of portfolios. They realize their learning and growth comes from working on multiple diverse portfolios, right? Now, in-house teams will never be able to get that diverse portfolios, and therefore the attrition rates will be very, very high for most clients. And this is the reality of the situation. But should clients try it if they think this is working for them? I'm sure there's no harm. Everybody has to try and explore this in their mind before they come to a situation where they think which is working for them. I personally believe that the creative industry, especially the creative folks, need exposure across multiple categories. Right. And that is what helps them grow. And this may not work in-house at all. However, in today's age, there are small areas or there are parts of the whole entire value chain of communication that can be managed in-house. I'll give you an example. Let's take the example of e-commerce, for example. Everybody is going e-commerce today, right? Every category. Now, to be able to be agile in your entire e-commerce format, you need to be able to do a lot of simple video shoots and static shoots and pictures and products and product experiences. These things are a very, very big part of the way e-commerce needs to be managed, right? Now, setting up an in-house studio to do photographs, product experiences, and multiple other things. Can a client do this in-house better? I genuinely think they can do it better. One, the product knowledge is higher on them, and it is easy to put lots of frameworks for these things to work and to be agile, to be able to upload onto e-commerce platforms much faster. I do think nothing can be stereotyped. With this new industry, I do see some amount of the value chain going in-house, and there's nothing wrong in it. But overall, I don't think creative development can go in-house, purely because that set of teams and folks really need a lot more exposure. And therefore, agencies like us can never go out of need, really.
Got it.
That's my belief.
Right. I absolutely second you on that. Very well answered. My next question to you is, Anusha, the festive season is right here. How are you assisting your brands to garner the maximum eyeballs, the maximum profits? What extra initiatives are you rolling out for these brands?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Honestly, we haven't changed our style or format of working at all. We did this last year when there was no COVID. We're doing it this year. We're always full of ideas. Always ready with proactive ideas for a lot of our clients who are not even thinking, let's say, Diwali. A lot of clients do think Diwali, but we know that people are actually going out all over again. They are being safe, they are wearing their masks, but are stepping out all over again. Mm-hmm. And maybe in a way, there are 2 points of views on this. One is to say, don't get out at all. Be safe and go out only if you need to be. But then there's another point of view, which is really go out and it's time for the economy to start moving all over again. I guess, but irrespective of these 2 points of views, the whole being safe and wearing a mask and sanitizing and all that remain constant, really. I believe that brands have to try, because market is moving, sales are happening. So we're doing the same thing that we did last year, really, right? We've taken ideas to most of our clients. If we've not had a brief, then we've proactively taken ideas to our clients. And I must tell you, a lot of momentum around Diwali has begun for us.
Right.
I hope I answered that question for you.
Yeah, absolutely. My last question for today is, advertising game is changing, and keeping up with the dynamic environment is a new challenge in itself. How is Grey coping up with this industry shift, and what new strategies in business and communication are on the table for Grey?
Like I said a little before, Samya, I don't see us being in the traditional advertising format at all. One, as Grey Group, we brought in 2 specializations together.
Yeah.
We no longer think mainline. We no longer think digital. We are not thinking at all. We've changed as an agency. For us, all platforms are the same. Touch points don't make a difference. It's important to build brands. Today, the consumer is in the digital space, and we know that it's an obvious fact. So therefore, as an agency, it really doesn't matter. You want to call us a digital agency, you want to call us a creative agency. It really doesn't matter because we are all of this really. So in our case, I'm not seeing this drastic shift that we need to make today because of COVID. We've already done that. And which is the reason why there was a new leadership team at the beginning of the year, which is really why the Autumn Grey team was acquired by Grey Group 2 years ago. We are already on this journey. A lot of our clients are seeing this. If you speak to any of our leadership team members, you will see the same language. We speak data, we speak technology, we speak brand, we speak creative. And it really doesn't matter whether it's digital or on TV really anymore for us. So nothing's really changed for us. I think the only big change that's happened on us is we've learned a new way of working, which is working from home. And we call it remote working. And for some reason, working from home doesn't sound as good as remote working. That's the only big change, and we've mastered that also. So honestly, we've not had to make any big shift thanks to COVID. We were already on this journey. And the journey is only accelerated for us purely because we've had the opportunity to be able to drive value for our clients.
More than work from home, I like to call it living at work because that's how the situation is for me.
Yeah. This is the favorite subject for many people right now. This work-life balance has become a larger point of discussion than this. But I've always told my teams that they must, communicate. If something is clashing with their personal lives, they must communicate. They must explain themselves. They must talk about it. They must not hesitate to talk about it. I've also told them that these are challenging times. This is the time to stretch a little bit and to manage new ways of working, which doesn't mean you have to mess your personal life, but find that perfect balance in this new environment that we're living in.
Right.
And hopefully most of them have mastered this right now.
And as we say, the strongest and the fittest will survive. So this is one of those challenging times.
Yes, and I hope everybody survives this because I think the learning that this phase has given all of us and is very different. Each one of us has to get out of this stronger and better.
True. Thank you, Anusha. It was a very, very fun session for me. I hope you enjoyed it as well.